Coordinates: 53 degrees north 27 degrees east, 53 degrees north 27 degrees east, 53.27 in Europe. Belarus, officially the Republic of Belarus, is a landlocked country in Eastern Europe. It is bordered by Russia to the east and northeast, Ukraine to the south, Poland to the west, and Lithuania and Latvia to the northwest, covering an area of 207,600 square kilometers and with a population of 9.3 million. Belarus is the 13th largest and the 20th most populous country in Europe. The country is administratively divided into 7 regions. Minsk is the capital and largest city. Until the 20th century, different states at various times controlled the lands of modern-day Belarus, including Kiev and Rus, the Principality of Polotsk, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, and the Russian Empire. In the aftermath of the Russian Revolution in 1917, different states arose competing for legitimacy amidst the civil war, ultimately ending in the rise of the Byelorussian SSR, which became a founding constituent republic of the Soviet Union in 1922. After the Polish-Soviet War, Belarus lost almost half of its territory to Poland. Much of the borders of Belarus took their modern shape in 1939, when some lands of the Second Polish Republic were reintegrated into it after the Soviet invasion of Poland, and were finalized after World War II. During World War II, military operations devastated Belarus, which lost about a quarter of its population and half of its economic resources. The republic was redeveloped in the post-war years. In 1945, the Byelorussian SSR became a founding member of the United Nations, along with the Soviet Union. The Parliament of the Republic proclaimed the sovereignty of Belarus on the 27th of July 1990. And during the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Belarus declared independence on the 25th of August 1991. Following the adoption of a new constitution in 1994, Alexander Lukashenko was elected Belarus's first president in the country's first and only free election post-independence, serving as president ever since. Lukashenko's government is authoritarian with a poor human rights record due to widespread human rights abuses. Belarus is the only country in Europe officially using the death penalty. Lukashenko has continued a number of Soviet-era policies, such as state ownership of large sections of the economy. In 2000, Belarus and Russia signed a treaty for greater cooperation, forming the Union State. Belarus is a developing country ranking very high in the Human Development Index. It has been a member of the United Nations since its founding as well as joined the CIS, the CSTO, the EAEU, the OSCE and the Non-Aligned Movement. It has shown no aspirations for joining the European Union but nevertheless maintains a bilateral relationship with the bloc, and likewise participates in 2 EU projects, the Eastern Partnership and the Baku Initiative. The name Belarus is closely related with the term Belaya Rus, i.e., White Rus. There are several claims to the origin of the name White Rus. An ethno-religious theory suggests that the name used to describe the part of old Ruthenian lands within the Grand Duchy of Lithuania that had been populated mostly by Slavs who had been Christianized early, as opposed to Black Ruthenia, which was predominantly inhabited by pagan Balts. An alternative explanation for the name comments on the white clothing worn by the local Slovak population. A third theory suggests that the old Rus lands that were not conquered by the Tatars had been referred to as White Rus. A fourth theory suggests that the color white was associated with the West, and Belarus was the western part of Rus in the 9th-13th centuries. The name Rus is often conflated with its Latin forms Russia and Ruthenia. Thus Belarus is often referred to as White Russia or White Ruthenia. The name first appeared in German and Latin medieval literature. The Chronicles of Jan of Zankau mention the imprisonment of Lithuanian Grand Duke Jogila and his mother at Alberache, Polok's Dicto, in 1381. The first known use of White Russia to refer to Belarus was in the late 16th century by Englishman Sir Jerome Horsey, who was known for his close contacts with the Russian royal court. During the 17th century, the Russian Tsars used white Rus to describe the lands added from the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. The term Belorussia first rose in the days of the Russian Empire, and the Russian Tsar was usually styled the Tsar of all the Russias. As Russia or the Russian Empire was formed by three parts of Russia: the Great, Little, and White. This asserted that the territories are all Russian and all the peoples are also Russian. In the case of the Belarusians, they were variants of the Russian people. After the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, the term White Russia caused some confusion, as it was also the name of the military force that opposed the Red Bolsheviks. During the period of the Byelorussian SSR, the term Byelorussia was embraced as part